G'day and welcome back to Buildsum and the series of videos on building a deck. And in this video, I just want to look at the termite barrier and the requirements for when you need to have a termite barrier. So basically every house that's constructed has a termite barrier. And what we don't want to do when we build our deck is actually breach or give the termites a chance to go around that barrier. So not only will it be detrimental to your deck, it could be detrimental to the entire house. So the best way to know where that termite barrier is in your house is if you look at the outside wall of your building, you will find, let me just turn around, you'll have a row of these, what they call perps, that have no mortar in them. Okay, they're there as a weep hole to let the moisture come out of the brick wall, but generally in that row of mortar behind or just below that row is where your ant cap or your termite barrier is placed. So if you can put your deck below that termite barrier, then you're pretty much set. You don't have to worry too much about your termite resistance. All you have to do is make your deck out of a termite resistant material. You don't have to worry about putting in an extra barrier. However, that's not going to be the case unless you have a fairly well built up house. In a lot of cases nowadays, you're going to end up with a situation like this, where that barrier is practically right at the bottom of your wall, right down here. Okay, and that would, in that case, you're going to end up with what they call a slab or a deck on ground situation, where we can't, more or less can't put in a termite barrier. We're just going to have to build it out of termite resistant materials. However, if you have a deck that is built up and you're going to put it up on piers, then we need to maintain the barrier that exists in the house. So the way we do that is there's basically three different pier types that you're going to come across. So more traditionally is the brick pier. So 1 or 2 bricks by 2 bricks, or 230 mil by 230 mil. Becoming more popular nowadays are these steel piers, and you can buy these pre-made caps. And then you can have the timber posts. Now these all have a built-in termite barrier. So the barrier on top of the brick pier is an ant cap. It's a pressed metal cap that protrudes out on a bit of an angle all the way around. Okay, and that stops the termites, because even if they work their way up in between the brickwork, when they hit this metal cap, they can't eat through the metal. So they actually have to come around, build little tunnels and go around outside the cap. Remembering that no termite barrier is 100% effective at stopping termites. All it does is divert them and make them come out where we can see them. So that's what all the cap does. The steel pier, again, it has a little bit of an ant cap on top. So if the termites were to get inside and were to go out the center of the pier, they would again hit the cap. They'd have to come out and around the cap to get into our timber. And our timber sits on top just here. So that little cap there forms our termite barrier in that case. And with our timber post, we have to have a minimum of 75 mil clear from the ground level, whether that be our pad or we just have the ground covering that. You have to have 75 mil from the bottom side of this stirrup or post shoe to the ground to give us a termite barrier. That way we would see the termites if they decided to climb up there, and we'd be able to do something about it. Okay, so there's the three probably most common pier types that you're going to get and how they achieve a termite barrier. So that's, as I said, it's pretty standard. If your deck is off the ground, 1, you're going to build it out of termite resistant material, and 2, you're probably going to have a termite barrier just built in, because it's pretty standard practice nowadays. Okay, so they're the termite requirements and how we achieve a termite barrier on our decks. G'day, I'm back.
Just to let you know that if you like this video, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, or you can follow me on Facebook so you don't miss out on more great videos.